50 Cent posted a photo on Instagram that dragged T's wife, Tiny Harris, into their ongoing beef. And it set off a chain of events that pulled in T's son, King Harris, who then crossed a line that sent the internet into a frenzy. The question now is whether 50 Cent, with one now deleted Instagram post, managed to expose the Harris family and shift the entire narrative of this feud. So, let's look at exactly what happened between 50 Cent, T.I., and King Harris, and how one Instagram post turned a versus argument into something nobody saw coming. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to the beginning of this beef, and it starts with one word, verse. Tip has been trying to get 50 Cent to face him in a song-for-song battle since Verse blew up in 2020, but 50 has yet to agree to the showdown. This is not new. T.I. has been pushing for this matchup for years. He's made it known on multiple platforms in multiple interviews that 50 Cent is the opponent he wants. And for years, 50 has either ignored it or brushed it off. But things got turned up in February 2026. The Atlanta rapper doubled down on his challenge to 50 during a live nightcap episode in San Francisco. On Friday, February 6th, the podcast was hosted by Shannon Sharpe and Chad Osino Johnson. This was not some quiet interview. This was T sitting on a stage in front of a live audience, calling 50 Cent out by name. T talked about how he had spoken with Swizz Beatz about doing a versus and how 50 was the person he wanted. He doesn't T want any smoke, though. I called my man out. He doesn't T want any smoke. His is ducking smoke. Those were T's words on a stage in front of cameras with Shannon Sharpe sitting right there. Now for context, O's claim was not just T talking reckless. He later went further on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. The Atlanta MC claimed that they had actually agreed to a hit-for-hit showdown, but then the G-Unit mogul backed out of it. According to T.I., this was not a one-sided conversation. He said that he and 50 had been moving around in Los Angeles, selling some shows together. And during that time, the two had discussed the versus and come to a verbal agreement. T claimed the plan was for him to mention it publicly first, and 50 would follow. But when T did his part and went public, 50 allegedly acted like he did not know what was going on. That is what set T.I. off. It was not just about someone declining a battle. It was the feeling that a deal was broken. Now I question your character. No? Hey, just say you don't want to do it. That was T.I. on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, making it clear that this was about respect now, not just music. And on that same podcast, T.I. said something that drew a line in the sand. I have no interest in standing on stage with him. I don't respect him. That is a direct quote. No, I don't like him, and no, I'm not upset. He said he does not respect 50 Cent. And in hip-hop, that statement carries weight. That is not something you can walk back. So, at this point, the internet is buzzing. Fans are debating whether T.I. has enough hits to go up against 50. Fans are debating whether 50 is ducking the battle, or just uninterested. And everyone is waiting to see how 50 Cent responds, because 50 Cent always responds. The man has been in public feuds with Ja Rule, Rick Ross, Diddy, Floyd Mayweather, and more. He does not let things slide. And sure enough, 50 did respond, but he did not respond with music. He did not respond by accepting the versus. He did not respond by saying anything about T's catalog. He went somewhere else entirely. He went to Instagram, and what he posted changed the entire direction of this beef. But before we get into that now deleted post, we need to look at what happened between the nightcap appearance and the Instagram post. Because 50 Cent did not just post a photo out of nowhere. He fired shots first. And those shots hit a nerve. After T.I. publicly called out 50 Cent for ducking the versus, 50 responded by posting a video of T's Crime Stoppers Atlanta advertisement on Instagram, implying that Tip is a snitch. I know Atlanta picks and chooses who they support, but you'll got to do better. LOL, keep my name out of your mouth. That was 50 Cent's caption on the post. Now, the Crime Stoppers commercial is something that has followed T.I. for years. The ad was part of T's community service following his 2007 federal gun case. It was not voluntary in the traditional sense. It was a condition of his legal situation. But 50 Cent has used it multiple times over the years to paint T.I. as someone who cooperates with law enforcement. But 50 did not stop there. 50 Cent went on to share a clip of T.I. in court testifying about the murder of one of his friends. This clip was from the trial of Hosea Thomas. The Gannett founder shared footage from T's testimony during the murder trial of Hosea Thomas. Thomas killed T's friend Phil Ant Johnson in Cincinnati back in 2006. Now, this is where the internet split. T's supporters say it isn't snitching at all. They argue he spoke to get justice for a friend. Others saw the courtroom footage and felt it reinforced the narrative 50 was pushing. Either way, the point was clear. 50 Cent was not going to let T.I. question his character without consequences. Then came the King Rat comment. In an Instagram comment captured by Academics TV on Twitter X, 50 Cent refers to Tip as King Rat. That is a direct play on T's own brand. T calls himself the King. He has an album titled King. His son's name is literally King. So for 50 Cent to flip that into King Rat was calculated. T fired back immediately. You're playing on my name, when only one of us is a rat in real life. Tip quickly responded. You know I got your paperwork right, and my transcript is available online. Your excuses are useless. Get your hoey ass in the box or STFU and live in fear. You soft son. You've lost my respect. Now that reference to paperwork is important. T's accusations reference long-standing rumors about 50 Cent snitching on Kenneth Supreme McGriff in the early 2000s. T.I. was essentially saying, you want to call me a rat? I have documents that say you're one, too. And my court transcripts are public, so anyone can look at what I actually said. At this point, the beef had gone from a versus debate to a full-blown credibility war. Both men were accusing each other of the same thing. Both were pointing to receipts, and the internet was choosing sides. Eventually, the two started accusing each other of snitching, which is where these beefs always seem to go when the music is taken out of the equation. That is a real observation. Once the music conversation dies, the street talk begins. And in hip-hop, snitching accusations can define or destroy a career. So, at this stage, we have two grown men throwing around some of the most serious accusations you can throw in hip-hop culture. But the beef was still between the two of them. It had not spread to anyone else yet. That was about to change because what 50 did next pulled in a member of T's family, and that is when everything went off the rails. On Sunday, February 22, 2026, 50 Cent made a move that shifted the entire beef from a rapper versus rapper situation into something involving T's family. King Harris joined the T.I. and 50 Cent feud on Sunday after the mogul shared a forewarned Instagram post to T.I. with a photo of Tip's wife, Tiny Harris, performing. 50 would caption the post, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth." Okay, now let's be clear about what happened here. 50 Cent recently shared a photo of King Harris's mother, Tiny, on Instagram. The photo was taken at an unflattering angle, and Cent posted the picture with the caption that he had repeatedly asked Tiny to keep his name out of her mouth. This was not 50 posting a picture of T.I. This was not 50 sharing courtroom footage. This was 50 Cent going after a man's wife. Tameka Tiny Harris, the woman who was a member of the R&B group Xscape, a Grammy winner, and a mother. This was the now deleted Instagram post that set everything on fire, and the internet noticed immediately. Some people thought 50 was taking the beef too far. Others said this was just 50 being 50. He has a long history of targeting the families and personal lives of the people he beefs with. There's nothing lower in a war of words between men than dragging a romantic partner into it. But 50 Cent did just that and is now catching heat from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T and Tiny. T himself jumped into the 50's comment section with a response that did not hold back. 966A, you can post a fat hoe in a snowstorm on a unicycle juggling dildos. You Riri still a hoe. King said that. T wrote in a comment that hashtag, while King said that was a reference to his son King Harris, and it was a signal. T was letting people know that the entire Harris family was now involved in this beef. The dad had spoken. The mom had been dragged in against her will. And now the son was about to step up. But here is the thing about the post that 50 made. It has since been deleted. If you go to 50 Cent's Instagram right now, you will not find the photo of Tiny. 50 Cent has a long history of posting things on Instagram and then taking them down. He drops a bomb, lets the internet react, lets the blog screenshot it, and then removes it. The damage is done. The receipts exist on every hip-hop blog and social media platform, but the original post is gone. This is how 50 Cent operates. He has done this with Diddy. He has done this with Jim Jones. He has done this with Rick Ross. He has done this with Ja Rule. And now he's done it with T's family. He's the kind of person to spend 2 decades antagonizing his biggest enemy. That is who 50 Cent is. And this deleted post was just the latest example. But whether the post stays up or gets deleted does not matter. What matters is what happened after, because what T's son did in response is what the entire internet is talking about right now, and it is what crossed the line. On Sunday, February, the rising rapper took to his Instagram stories with an explicit expletive-laced rant. After the 50-year-old mogul shared an unflattering photo of Tiny amid his escalating online feud with T, King Harris, 21 years old, the eldest son of T and Tiny, saw what 50 Cent posted about his mother. And he did not respond calmly. He did not post a measured statement. He went to his Instagram stories and went off. Want to say something about my mama? Your mama dead is for no, King said to the camera, referencing 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died in 1983. Now, for those who don't know, 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, murdered when he was 8 years old, making King Harris's comments particularly sensitive. 50 Cent was a child when he lost his mother. He has spoken about that loss publicly. It is one of the defining aspects of his life story. It shaped who he became, and King Harris went directly at that. King did not stop with the video rant. He later shared a photo on Instagram with the names of 50 Cent's mom and grandmother on a tombstone. He posted images of headstones and tagged 50 Cent directly. Ahead of unleashing a series of Instagram stories directed at 50 Cent, he'd share an Instagram post that begins with a photo of 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, and the beef. With a tombstone engraved with Jackson's name and lifespan, the explicit caption to 50 reads, "Fuck your bits and dig up your mama." King also commented directly under 50 Cent's original post about Tiny. King also commented on the OG post from 50, writing, "Where's is your mama?" That was his comment on the actual photo of his mother that 50 had posted. 3 words, "Where you, mama?" In the Instagram stories rant, King went further. He talked about how his mother is a legend. Comparing Tiny's Grammy-winning R&B career as a member of XSCAP to 50's mother, he added that his mom is a legend. He said that nobody can compete with his family's level. He told 50 Cent to put flowers on his mother's grave instead of posting about other people's mothers. And then he escalated even further. King Harris didn't stop there, warning 50 Cent and his associates with these words. Y'all know enough for Roru. Better tie your morosol, no, not the false y'all, was also now the internet had a lot to say about this. Raindrops Media reported the story on X, noting that King Harris entered the chat and told 50 Cent to go dig up his deceased mother and post a picture of her gravesite. That tweet went viral. This is where things cross the line for most people. Whether you are Team TI or Team 50 in this beef, bringing up a person's deceased mother, a woman who was murdered, and posting tombstone images is a level that most of the hip-hop community considers out of bounds. 50 Cent was wrong for posting Tiny. Many people agree on that, but King Harris took it to a place that even some of T's supporters could not defend. King Harris's feud with 50 marks the mogul's second with a rapper's son. Following his 2026 feud with Diddy's son, Christian King Combs, is now beefing with the children of his peers. And the question becomes, is this what happens when a person who built their career on trolling people for over 2 decades keeps pushing buttons? Or did King Harris simply go too far? After King's rant, something interesting happened. In a separate Instagram stories post shared shortly after 50's jab at Tiny, T.I. appeared to offer his son support, writing, "You are going to win, BCU. A good man, a good dad, and a good person." T.I. did not tell his son to calm down. He did not say that was too far. He co-signed it. He supported it. And that told the world everything about where the Harris family stood. Tiny Harris has also not made a public remark regarding either the beef between T and King Harris, or the beef between T and 50 Cent at this time. The woman at the center of it all has been silent. Tiny has said nothing, and that is telling in itself. After everything King Harris said, the rant, the tombstone photos, and in the comments about his mother, 50 Cent's response was the most 50 Cent thing possible. He simply posted a photo of Pepe the Frog, and then captioned his Instagram post with LOL. Clearly, this is the lowest form of diss track to him. That was it. LOL, a frog meme. After a 21-year-old posted photos of his dead mother's tombstone, 50 Cent posted a frog and wrote 3 letters. 50 Cent has laughed off King Harris's remarks about Sabrina Jackson, according to the latest Instagram post. LOL, 50 captioned the post with a photo of the popular cartoon frog meme. Now, if you know 50 Cent's history, this response is not a sign of weakness. This is strategy. 50 Cent does not operate on the same frequency as other rappers. He does not match energy with energy. He matches anger with laughter. He matches outrage with dismissal. And that is what makes him so effective at winning these kinds of public battles. When one person is screaming and the other person is posting a frog emoji, who looks more in control? Who looks like they are bothered? And who looks like they are entertained? But 50 did not just stop at the frog. 50 responded with a graphic made by YouTuber 050 The Movement featuring photos of King and his mother with the caption, "God like ugly." That post directly targeted both King Harris and Tiny Harris together, calling them both ugly in one image. And once again, it was posted to Instagram for his millions of followers to see. King fired back again. King was quick to respond, sharing a photo of 50 in court. With the caption, "All you do is apply pressure to females. Bring that smoke to the chimney. Me 66A. Just getting started." 50 Cent has gone to trial in 2013 for domestic abuse. So now King Harris is pulling up 50's court history. This beef is spiraling. And then the music came. T went to the studio. On Sunday night, the Atlanta artist was upset with 50 for posting an unflattering photo of his wife Tiny. It led to a new diss track called War, which has not been officially released yet. T.I. tweeted out a snippet of the DJ Tump-produced track with the caption, "Oh, you NE66 want war." When that, which included a new song titled War. But 50 Cent's reaction to the diss track was the same as his reaction to everything else. Clearly, this is the lowest form of diss track to him. He did not respond with a disc record. Fif is not going to respond on record, at least not yet. He simply treated T's musical response the same way he treated King's rant, with a meme and 3 letters. Then T.I. went even further. Wasting no time, after releasing his initial response over the weekend, T.I. delivered a second full-length disc track titled Right One directly to Atlanta Radio on Monday, bypassing streaming platforms for a traditional mid-2000 SS radio drop. The new track premiered exclusively on Hot 107.9 during Posted on the Corner with Incognito and DJ Mrs. 2 diss tracks in 2 days. T.I. is treating this like a real war. Meanwhile, 50 has not recorded a single bar in response. Now, here is the bigger picture. At any rate, its release marks the latest glimpse at what Tip may have in store for the upcoming Kill the King, which is widely expected to be his final album. T.I. is working on what is supposed to be his retirement album. His single Letter, No, produced by Pharrell, had already been doing well. Elsewhere, Tip earned his first solo Billboard Hot 100 entry in more than a decade with Let Them Know, which held at number 50 on the chart dated February 1st. He was in the middle of a genuine comeback, and then this beef happened. T has been having a nice comeback tour with his single Let Know. And this song certainly fits nicely into that mold. However, some fans may not appreciate a beef with 50 Cent, especially since it seems tailor-made for clicks and promotion. That is the question that hangs over all of this. Is this beef helping T.I. or hurting him? Is the attention from 50 Cent boosting his profile ahead of this final album? Or is it making him look like he is punching up at someone who does not take him seriously? Because the reality is that 50 Cent has not dropped music in years and is worth hundreds of millions of dollars from his television empire, his business ventures, and his touring. He does not need a verve. He does not need to prove anything musically. And when someone at that level responds to your diss tracks with a frog meme, it sends a message. Whether or not that message is fair is a different conversation, but the optics are clear. Of course, the legendary artist is also out here getting into it with the likes of Jim Jones and Diddy. 50 Cent is beefing with multiple people at the same time. He is posting surveillance footage of Jim Jones kicking down doors. He is trolling Diddy from behind bars. He is now going after T's entire family. There is no such thing as a target that is off limits. And that is both what makes 50 Cent entertaining and what makes him dangerous. However, the Queen's rapper didn't back down, doubling down with additional posts about Tiny, continuing the personal jabs and escalating the situation further. At this point, it's clear the feud has turned personal, and no one appears to be off limits as the rivalry continues to unfold online and in the music. So, where does this leave us? 50 Cent made a now-deleted post about Tiny Harris. T's 21-year-old son, King Harris, responded by bringing up 50's murdered mother, posting tombstone images, and going on a rant that the entire internet has now seen. 50 Cent responded with a frog meme and the word LOL. T.I. released 2 diss tracks. 50 has not released a single record in response. Either way, it remains clear to us that this T.I. and 50 Cent beef is not going away anytime soon. These are 2 artists who are way too prideful to ever let this simmer down. Whether or not someone decides to be the bigger man remains to be seen. The reality is that 50 Cent did not end T's career with one Instagram post. T.I. is still making music. He's still releasing diss tracks. He still has a Billboard Hot 100 entry. But what 50 Cent did was bait the entire Harris family into a public situation where their reactions, particularly King's, became the story instead of the music. And in the game of internet beef, controlling the narrative is the same as winning. 50 Cent posted a photo. He deleted it. And the fallout from that one image has generated more headlines than T's actual comeback music. That is the power of one Instagram post from a person who has spent over 2 decades mastering the art of provocation. Whether you think 50 was right or wrong, fair or foul, the numbers don't lie. Everyone is talking about this beef. And when everyone is talking, 50 Cent is winning. That is how he has always played this game. And that is how he will continue to play it.